Hey guys, doing another video here. Alright, well, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I don't know how long ago, maybe it was a month ago, I ended up blowing up my dad's AC compressor because I did not read the sticker. Focus. Alright, sorry for the poor light, but as you can see, this is maximum 22.9 ounces, and minimum 21.2. Well, what I actually did was I probably put in 30 ounces, probably somewhere around there, and there's this safety release valve on the back, and I blew all the new refrigerant out the back. Now the reason I did this, it was completely by accident, but this compressor is a reman. The compressor that was on the car was a reman from AutoZone, which I just got a new reman from AutoZone. But anyways, clutch and everything works great, but it wore out pretty quickly. The problem was I was going off the pressure in the bottle. The bottle actually has a label on it. Let me get this new bottle. Focus. That tells you the ambient alright. Right now it's like 87. So you look at 87 degrees ambient temperature. And you go over to that gauge and you're looking at that gauge for what you're looking on the low side. And this comes with a gauge. Right there. So, anyways, I did what Eric the car guy suggested. Bought a set of gauges. Bought a vacuum pump. Right there. So, that's what I ended up doing, but anyways, this is the job. The job is, this is how I had to do it at least, okay? See these things up top? This is the low pressure line from the top, and I just split it using 2 crescent wrenches. And this is the high pressure that goes straight into the evaporator. Makes sense, right? But I ended up having to do it from the top and taking the lines off. That one's still kind of stuck, but I broke it loose. But taking them off with the compressor when you drop the compressor. Alright, it's pretty easy. You actually get the compressor off. I didn't even loosen the belt. I couldn't get down there. Yeah, you guys can't see that, but there's an idler down in there that you're supposed to loosen the bottom belt. And you really have to actually take off this power steering pump to get down there. And I couldn't even get a wrench on it, so kind of sucky, but you just wiggle the belt on and off when you loosen up the compressor. It's going to be worse getting it on than off, obviously. But, yeah, you just have 4 bolts to take off on the side. You go through these holes, they're in each corner. There's 2 on the bottom, just like this. Then you just lower it down. You have a wire that has a sensor that is clipped on there. And then there's 2 other wires, but they don't really matter. They're like self-sustaining, if that makes sense. Like this is, I don't know, just don't listen to that part. The other 2 wires don't matter. There's 1 wire that's got a clip, and it clips on right next to the evaporator. You'll see it. But all in all, this is a pretty easy job. Sorry for not being able to videotape it and being able to edit it and all that stuff. I'm not very professional when it comes to my videos. I just tell you how to do it because most of the time you guys are good enough mechanics that you guys can do it yourself if I tell you how to. So, that's how you do it. Anything else I'm missing? I'll go through the procedure real quick on what you do when you have the new compressor in and it's dry. Well, earlier today I went to a valvoline station to have all the old refrigerant recovered. That's the first thing you do. You never want to have all this refrigerant, like right here, get released into the atmosphere. It's a like $2,800 fine here in Ohio, so not cool. But I mean, who's gonna turn you in? But anyways, besides that, what else? Well, once you get that recovered and your system's completely dry, what you want to do is you hook up your gauges. If you want to, go to Erica Carguy's video about these gauges. They are specifically about these gauges, but it's really flippin' easy. And what you do is you'll hook up this is actually one line, it comes back up and goes in there. And you'll take this one off, hook it up to the vacuum pump, which is the side nozzle on this Harbor Freight vacuum pump. And you want to make sure this has a plastic whoops, my bad, I forgot that had pressure on it, as you can see. But anyways, this has a plastic insert. Make sure you at least have plastic. You should really have a rubber one, an O-ring to go in there, but if you don't, that's fine. This is low side, this is high side, makes sense. Cold, hot, essentially. High side, hot, high pressure. Cold side, colder, low pressure. Anyways, what you do is you attach this straight to the ports. I don't have the other port because it's on the line, but attach it straight to the ports, and you make sure these knobs are turned off. When you hook it up to the vacuum pump, start the vacuum pump with it all hooked up, and then you open both these and you run it for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Pretty easy. And then once you do that, you close these valves before you turn off the pump. You turn off the pump, and then you want to buy a bottle that fits this. That's why that bottle that I just has that on it. So that's what you want to do. And also, I'm missing the biggest point. I'll go back to it. But also, when you have these closed off, there's still a vacuum on it. So when you hook this up to your new refrigerant and turn it on, it'll actually draw in some. But before you do that, what you want to do is get everything hooked up back together and start the car and put the air conditioner temperature on low with the AC on. Don't recirculate in the cabin. And you want to put the fan on low. So then you do that. And you just add the entire bottle. You look up and, like I just showed you, that sticker on there. It said 21.3, I think, to 22.9. I have a 22-ounce bottle, net weight. And if they actually vacuumed out everything, it'll be fine. And the cool thing about this, replaces lost refrigerant and oil. And also it's Arctic freeze, cools 50% faster. I love this stuff. It's freezing cold once you stick it in there. That AC Pro stuff claims to be the coolest. It's not. It is definitely that stuff, but the AC Pro is really easy. Plug it in and go, It's nice, but that's pretty much it. That's all you really do. You run it for a little bit longer. Just make sure you add the correct amount of refrigerant. And also, what I was trying to mention was that every single new or remanufactured air compressor needs air compressor oil or refrigerant oil. So, this Honda, I'm not actually sure. The freaking dealership just told me to put in what I took out of that. That's like such a ghetto way of doing things. Anyways, with this new compressor, right now it came with 1.5 ounces. Okay, and I'm pretty sure it takes like 3.5 to 4 ounces. But what you do is you see these top valves, you just take this off, pour the oil to the correct amount in, and then you hook everything up. And when you do the vacuum on it, it can, but it shouldn't draw the oil back out, because it's really only supposed to take air. and if it pukes out oil, that's not good. But most of the time that never happens, rare occasions. And then once you put the oil in, you just rotate the clutch part that's actually attached. Rotate the clutch part about 16 to 18 times. Make sure you get that oil worked in before it takes the high RPMs of an engine. So, and also after you have this hooked up, keep the RPM ranges varying for best results. Just don't scream, make the engine scream. Don't take it up to VTEC line. Just like 400 or 4,000 RPM, and don't go past that for about 100 miles. But definitely make sure you're varying the RPM with this, because it helps break in the bearings and stuff on the inside here for the longevity. So all in all, I got this reman for $253. I got the vacuum pump for $105 plus a $20 warranty, 3 years and 9 months. And also, what else did I have to buy? The gauges were $54. So this is expensive, but you get to reuse these tools, which is nice. So it's pretty easy. Just swap parts. The best thing to go off of if you don't like my video, which a lot of people seem to not do, but I guess I'm not that good at teaching. But anyways, go to the Eric the Car Guy's website, or YouTube channel I mean, and look up his air conditioning. He's doing it on his Subaru, showing you how to recharge it. It's really easy, but it's like a 25-minute video, so make time for it. Alright, see you guys.